More people in here, and we'll be good to go. There you are. Okay, let me see what I have tagged. I know I've got stuff, and I know Steph has stuff. So... there we are. Cool. We'll start. Let's see. That's yesterday. Okay. I think we did that one too. Here we are. DOJ and FBI crushing major Chinese state-sponsored hacking operation. Little something from Mr. Blanche. Let's see.
Stop is something that the FBI and our great prosecutors in California have worked very hard on. And they're going to reload and try to come at us again. And so this is a fight that we're going to continue to have.
The Attorney General there talking about the story Mike Emanuel just presented, and the details are pretty big. The DOJ press release, Justice Department, FBI seized platforms operated and used by China's state-sponsored hackers to target U.S. critical infrastructure. Among the victims of computer intrusion activity, NASA, Federal Reserve, Department of Energy, Department of Justice, Department of Health and Human Services, National Institutes of Health, and the U.S. Senate. This comes just weeks before the Chinese president is set to meet President Trump in Washington. President Xi is coming. Let's bring in our panel. Fox News contributor Ben Domenech, host of the Big Ben podcast. Annie Linskey, White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and Fox News senior political analyst Juan Williams. Annie, you know, ahead of this trip, there are a lot of things that China's doing that raise questions, but this is really in your face.
Yeah, Brett, that's right. And of course, the Chinese have been doing this for a while. We learned from the Attorney General. But I think what's significant here is that the Attorney General made this announcement. The Department of Justice gave out quite a bit of detail. And then you have the Attorney General going on TV to talk about it. And that means the White House is sending a very clear signal to the Chinese as they are preparing to come to the U.S. and saying, we're going to call you out for this. And you can expect it to be on the agenda when President Trump meets with Xi.
Ben.
Yeah, I think that it's an indication that this is something that they were aware of for a while, had been working on, as Todd Blanche said, for months. But they wanted to put it out now, I think, for that particularly timing reason, as Annie said. This has to be something where the president talks about it with Xi in the upcoming meeting, and it's something that I think has been going on for a long time in a way that is a lot more aggressive than Americans have been paying attention to, especially when it comes to their attempted penetration of key committees on Capitol Hill that deal with intelligence information all the time. That's something that should be of concern to everyone.
You know, I am just so effing tired of OBS and the stupid effing echo. I'm done with it. We're doing the earbuds. Just like obnoxious. It just works half the time, doesn't work the other half. Fucking bullshit, man. All right, give me a second. We're gonna switch over to my headphones. Absurd. Okay, how do I do this? Bluetooth, AirPods. Hey, not the mic though. Hopefully the mic doesn't switch. Okay, good to go. Should be. Yep, cool. That's good. Yeah, hopefully that'll let me actually hear what I'm listening to and prevent you guys in YouTube from catching the echo. It's freaking obnoxious, dude. Every show. Okay, where were we here? Mm-hmm. Look at that. So now YouTube's not getting video audio. All right. I probably got to change a setting for you guys after we switch the headphones there. I don't know if it's coming through for Rumble or not. We'll see. Just try default. Does that work?
Chinese hack.
There it goes. How about I assume Rumble people are getting it, so okay, yep, good.
Look, there's an invisible war taking place right now as we speak, and that war is not only China hacking at U.S. Government agencies, but hacking in terms of, you know, news, information, banking, and beyond. And the second part of that would be Russia acting as a Chinese ally, or China acting as a Russian ally, not only in Ukraine, but again in Iran. Helping with intelligence and helping to defeat the U.S. economic sanctions that are being imposed, hopefully to try to end the war. But how do you end it if China is, in fact, giving?
Yep. Oh, Juan. State Department. Oh, this is on the Antifa thing. The A/I collective or whatever it is, yeah.
The State Department targeting an overseas tech network accused of helping extremists hide in plain sight by providing encrypted tools to Antifa activists in Portland, Oregon, and overseas terror groups, including Hamas and Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Correspondent Alex Hogan reports live in Washington on this. Big deal, Alex.
Yeah, hi, Jackie. So the State and Treasury Departments designating Autisti Inventati, or AI Collective, as a specially designated global terrorist, saying that this group provides digital infrastructure to violent Antifa cells and other far-left groups. So according to the department, services include encrypted chats and email, web hosting, secure video conferencing, and streaming, which allow other groups to remain anonymous beyond the reach of the law. The department says the collective provided services to groups who carried out attacks on rail systems in European countries, and here at home, groups that have carried out attacks on ICE or at a law enforcement training center in Atlanta, Georgia, for example. The Italy-based group says it started 20 years ago to provide internet support for social movements. According to the group's website, that includes individuals, collectives, communities, and groups whose political and social activities fit within this worldview and who share some fundamental principles. That includes anti-fascism, anti-racism, anti-sexism, anti-militarism. On top of that, one has to share our basic attitude towards money and the capitalistic world, a deep feeling of uneasiness and unrest. So this is the first.
So you're all like just mentally ill?
Designation of its kind since U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio convened leaders from around the world for a summit last month on the resurgence of political terrorism. The State Department says this group has a massive footprint, including 16,000 mailboxes, 1,500 websites, 5,500 mailing lists, and about 10,000 blogs. Jackie?
Jeez. Quite a network. Oh, look at this. Adorable little home robot. He can skate? Kind of cute. Oh, Hugging Face. Interesting. Huh. Be an interesting gift for a kid wanting to learn about robotics. I think it allows you to, like it lets you train it yourself, like with actual AI training workloads, and customize different little skills and tasks it can do. Train a simulation. Behaviors are learned in Physics Sim on your machine or remotely on Hugging Face, the website. You deploy it on the robot, refine the simulation by tuning, retraining, and redeploying. Interesting. Comes out the box with the basics. Walk, sit, stand, kick, grab, roller skate, and get back up. Well, they can do it. They can do backflips too, I hear. Maybe that's the other one. That might be the camera robot. It's kind of similar. It's also on skates. Weird times, man. Just give it a year, it's going to get crazy. I saw a lawnmower bot today. First time I'd seen one. I had not seen one before, but Riggs and I were out driving and going to the grocery store and passed right through our own little neighborhood here, just a minute down the street, and saw this little like Roomba looking thing doing someone's lawn. I was like, damn. We really don't need the Mexicans anymore, do we? Just get a little robot. Call him Juan. Juan.0. Sorry. That was too good. This is interesting. The full Brady Bunch measles episode from way back when. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to take a peek.
Jan and I can get better acquainted.
Only if you keep your distance, Jan. Sir.
I think if I'm remembering right, they all have like a measles party, like a chickenpox party kind of thing. It just shows like how absurd the whole modern outlook on disease is compared to how just normal certain things used to be. People have a metric, like a nuclear frickin' meltdown over something that used to just be part of everyday life. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Crazy, man. 50 years. It's Lake America now, huh? Lake Ontario is now Lake America, officially. It's tremendous.
As you know, Canada's been ripping us off for a long time on trade, very sadly. Even the military, we defend Canada for nothing. We don't get anything. They don't pay us to defend Canada, but we defend Canada. And they understand that. As an example, we bought icebreakers. They'd like to use them. We have 11 brand new icebreakers coming in. They'd like to use the icebreakers. They don't pay for anything. And they want to be treated like a state, but they're not a state. But they want to be treated like they're a state. And so we just can't do that anymore. We lose, on average, over the last 15 years, $60 billion a year carrying Canada. So we just can't do it anymore. We love the people of Canada. I don't think their representatives do an appropriate job. Maybe they'll change. I really don't know. I mean, it doesn't make much difference. But we can't let the whole Canadian thing that's been going on for decades, and it has to come to a stop. So we're going to be doing tariffs on their cars that are coming in at a substantial level, because we want to make the cars here. We don't want, they can make their own cars if they want, and they can continue to make their cars for Canada. But we don't want them to make cars for the United States of America. It's very simple. Likewise, many other products. So the lake change, Lake of America, was something I've been thinking about for a long time, actually. As you know, we took something called the Gulf of Mexico, we changed it, and now it's very routinely the Gulf of America. So if you think about it, we have a Gulf and we have a lake. Now all we need is an ocean. So maybe we'll have to change the name of the Atlantic and or the Pacific. Maybe we'll change them both.
Okay, I'm good with that. Canadian Broadcasting Corporation orders journalists. What? That's a weird move. 2 weeks before the 25th anniversary of 9/11. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation orders journalists not to refer to the 9/11 attacks as terrorist attacks. Why? Exactly? I mean, seriously, why? Just seems really weird. No idea what to think. Police raid the home of Rep. Ilhan Omar's son. I wonder who's next. Seizing guns and ammunition. Oh, he looks nice. Yeah. Real winner. Have we received any glowing news coverage yet? Filters. This week. Oh yes, comes after the announcement of investigations into her, mind you. Wow, I don't see hardly anything. Looks like it's just dropping on a few shorts and stuff. I do today. Okay. Nothing. Just that one dude. Couple people going live soon. Not much. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Let's see. Ah, of course, paywalled. Executed a search warrant at an apartment, Minneapolis apartment tied to the son of Ilhan Omar. Guns and ammunition were recovered from the scene. The department has offered few details publicly. Wonder if it's known who was present at this action here. Any interesting agencies, maybe? Just cops. Nepalese men running from the flash flood, or, well, not running. Ugh, sorry. That was loud. These people have no self-preservation instinct, like, at all. Zero. Look at this dude. Look at him. Nonchalantly strolling out for an afternoon stroll. Just another day. Oh, there it comes. This was obviously somewhere where it wasn't all that bad, relatively speaking. Or possibly from the one a few weeks ago. I don't know. Could have been the other one from a couple weeks back.
Sir, any...
Oh, here's Lindsay Clancy's attorney, Kevin Reddington, dismissing all of the cuckoo theories that her man Patrick Clancy was the one that killed the kids. Psychos. These freaking psychos, man.
Comment on rumors regarding Patrick.
No,
That is what an absurd question.
I don't deal in rumors.
You, like, hello.
Sir, you don't think there's any credibility to the theories about Patrick that are being circulated by some of these women?
Like
I
what?
got enough to worry about Lindsay right now without worrying about rumors with Patrick. So I'm going to defer on that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sir, any
Nonsense. Trump, State Department's big push to break up the domestic terror group Antifa, posted by State Department 50 minutes ago. Let's see.
Welcome back. The Trump State Department's big push to break up the domestic terror group Antifa, it's finding Antifa in U.S. cities and states like Portland, Oregon. They're using the exact same Antifa group in Italy for its secret internet and encrypted communications that, wait for it, Hezbollah and Hamas terrorists also use. Fox News' Alex Hogan is in Washington, D.C. with the latest. Alex, what more can you tell us?
Liz, Austici Inventati, or AI Collective, is an Italy-based group. The State and Treasury Department's naming it as a specially designated global terrorist. The administration says the group provides digital infrastructure like encrypted communication and secure video conferencing for violent Antifa cells and other far-left groups. Tools reportedly used domestically by Oregon-based Rose City Antifa to release personal information on ICE agents with calls to attack them. Internationally, groups carrying out attacks on rail systems or Berlin's power grid have used the services, according to the administration.
And the collective allegedly provided the online tools that a far-left media platform used to publish statements and calls to action for several designated terrorist groups like Hamas or Hezbollah.
The AI Collective says it started 20 years ago to provide internet support for social movements. According to the group's website, that includes individuals, collectives, communities, and groups whose political and social activities fit within this worldview and who share with us some fundamental principles: anti-fascism, anti-racism, anti-sexism, anti-militarism. On top of that, one has to share our basic attitude towards money and the capitalistic world, a deep feeling of uneasiness and unrest. The State Department says the AI Collective hosts 16,000 mailboxes, 1,500 websites, 5,500 mailing lists, and about 10,000 blogs. Last month, Secretary of State Marco Rubio hosted a summit on the resurgence of political terrorism. This is the first such designation since that event. Liz?
Really interesting. Thank you. Great reporting there, Alex Hogan. Now
Yep. Fun times. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, and I might have had some more from this morning too. Yeah. Let's do those. Russian influence operation trying to influence ChatGPT has been revealed? What? How so? Trying to sneak something in there? Like, how? Very curious to find out how they intended to do this. Russians are promoting a fictitious Israeli research institute called the International Burke Institute. The influence campaign was built around a website containing, yeah, they're trying to sneak stuff in, copied academic work, a sovereignty index that presented Russia in a positive light, and efforts to conceal the Russian origin of the activity. Influence campaign was uncovered after OpenAI identified a cluster of ChatGPT accounts whose operator wrote prompts in Russian to generate posts and comments on Substack, Telegram, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Most of the comments were in English, and the operator asked to conceal linguistic signs of Russian origin. Genius. Currently targeted the US, EU, Germany, France, Poland, and Turkey. Oh, they used Cursor. Huh? Russian-speaking cyber criminals, oh, this is a different thing, used SpaceX's Cursor AI tool to hack 7 companies. When did they do it? before the X purchase of Cursor or after? Because that kind of matters. Russian-speaking hackers used SpaceX's AI coding assistant Cursor to... Funny, they're calling it SpaceX's. They didn't design it, they bought it very recently and had effectively no input on the design up until like very, very recently, but you know, whatever. To help break into a Belgian chemical company and at least 6 other firms earlier this year. Oh, earlier this year? Like, what, you mean like before SpaceX bought it? Ridiculous. Shameless. Reuters. It's disgusting. Playing games like that. Okay, Gambit said it discovered the hacking campaign after finding a server that a new ransomware gang called Aurora had inadvertently exposed to the internet. That allowed the Tel Aviv-based company to review 28 chat sessions between one or more of Aurora's hackers and one of Cursor's AI agents. Chat logs which spanned April to May. Yeah, that's like I don't think SpaceX had. I don't even know if they'd signaled intent to purchase at that point. It's ridiculous to try and lay it at their feet. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Marines say CIA-trained Afghan units executed civilians to clear Kabul airport. When? Oh, that time. Yeah, during the Biden admin's insane withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. Eyewitnesses in this documentary for Wall Street Journal titled The Path to Zero say atrocities were also perpetrated against U.S. military members at Kabul International Airport. Multiple people in the doc say they witnessed the Afghan special forces, known as Zero Units, murder members of the crowd in a CIA-directed mission to clear the airport. Those who committed the murders were then rewarded with evacuation, courtesy of the U.S. Yeah. They straight up executed people, ran them over. Retired U.S. Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant Edward Gonzalez says in the film, telling the documentarians that he witnessed these atrocities firsthand. I literally saw trucks running over people, when told that some people have denied that such events occurred. Joseph Lowdy, a retired sergeant with the U.S. Marine Corps, also described what the Zero Units did to clear out the airport. They would use vehicles, they would run people over, they would execute people, they'd shoot them, shoot into the crowds, bearing witness to atrocities, to war crimes. Peter Vasily, I don't know, a retired Rear Admiral with the U.S. Navy who served as the commander of U.S. Forces Afghanistan Forward at the time of withdrawal, claimed in the documentary that no reports of the Zero Unit's actions ever made it to him. He said he did not doubt what the Marines on the ground said, just that he had never received any official reports of the conduct. Makes sense. Gonzalez also said that the Zero Units had the Zero Units not taken the steps that they took to clear the airport, he and his fellow Marines would not be alive today. That's the other side of this, I suppose. Kenneth F. McKenzie, a retired Marine Corps general, also said that not only would the U.S. have not been able to clear the airport without the Zero Units, but they wouldn't have been able to hold it either. Of course, none of this even would have been necessary to begin with if it weren't for Joe Clusterfuck Biden. Director of Foreign Intel Service of Russia, Sergei Narishkin, confirmed a meeting with CIA Director John Ratcliffe in Moscow. According to him, a number of issues within the competence of the intelligence services were discussed at the meeting. Narishkin noted that personal meetings between heads of special services of different countries are part of the job and standard practice. Which, I mean, they are. Including occasional in-person stuff like this, especially in the midst of conflicts. It does happen. I still definitely wonder what the heck really was discussed there, but could have, I suppose, just been par for the course. Elon Musk reportedly scheduled to speak at the G20 Innovation Ministerial on September 1st. Both Musk and David Sachs. Jensen Huang also participating. Discussions will focus on AI regulation, innovation, and economic growth. Oh, speaking of Jensen, yeah. NVIDIA just bought Hugging Face, the people who released that robot, little duck bot, for $13 billion. $13 billion. Whew. Damn. All for a website where you can download OpenAI models. That's it. That's really, I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's how they got started. Not all that long ago either. Elon Musk will reportedly join Jensen Huang and David Sachs. Yep. Okay. Times new cover. Oh God. Time 100 AI. The world's most influential people in artificial intelligence. Yeah. It's the people you'd expect. Except, well, Paris Hilton? What? Really? Paris Hilton? She, funding stuff or something? Dumping money? Weird. Ratko Mladic, the Bosnian Serb general general during the Balkan Wars of the 1990s, who was convicted in the killing of 8,000 Muslims in Srebrenica, Europe's deadliest massacre since World War II, has died. He was 83. The Butcher of Bosnia, they called him. Pardon me. Okay, now, let's go over here. Plenty of stuff to look at today. All right. Oh, Trump did a signing of an executive order. Oh, for Lake Ontario. Oh, sorry, Lake America. My bad.
We're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America. That's going to take place right now as I sign the order. Do you have anything to say about it, Ben?
Yes, sir. So this is a straightforward but important executive order. It directs Secretary Burgum and the Department of the Interior to update the Geographic Names Information Service to reflect that the lake once known as Lake Ontario will, from this day forward, be known as Lake America. This is a lake that has most of its volume in the United States. The deepest parts of the lake sit in United States territory, so this will reflect that this is an American lake.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. And we filed all the necessary papers, documents, everything else. We notified all of the various people that we have to notify. So we've done everything that you have to do. And this is official, effective immediately.
Talking Canada now. Ripping us off for a long time.
Message. As you know, Canada's been ripping us off for a long time on trade. Sadly. Even the military. You know, we defend Canada for nothing. We don't get anything. They don't pay us to defend Canada, but we defend Canada. And they understand that. As an example, we bought icebreakers. They'd like to use them. We have 11 brand new icebreakers coming in. They'd like to use the icebreakers. They don't pay for anything. And they want to be treated like a state, but they're not a state. but they want to be treated like they're a state. And so we just can't do that anymore. We lose on average over the last 15 years $60 billion a year carrying Canada. So we just can't do it anymore. We love the people of Canada. I don't think their representatives do an appropriate job. Maybe they'll change. I really don't know. I mean, it doesn't make much difference. But we can't let the whole Canadian thing has been going on for decades, and it has to come to a stop. So we're going to be doing tariffs on their cars that are coming in at a substantial level, because we want to make the cars here. We don't want, if they can make their own cars if they want, and they can continue to make their cars for Canada. But we don't want them to make cars for the United States of America. It's very simple. Likewise, many other products. So the lake change, Lake of America, was something I've been thinking about for a long time, actually. As you know, we took something called the Gulf of Mexico. We changed it, and now it's very routinely the Gulf of America. So if you think about it, we have a Gulf and we have a lake. Now all we need is an ocean. So maybe we'll have to change the name of the Atlantic and or the Pacific. Maybe we'll change them both.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm full. I'm good. We have a Gulf and we have lake. Now, all we need is an ocean.
As you know, we took something called the Gulf of Mexico. We changed it, and now it's very routinely the Gulf of America. So if you think about it, we have a Gulf and we have a lake. Now all we need is an ocean.
Saw that one.
The Canadian officials have treated us very badly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. No.
Oh, talking about Nepal now.
We've called Nepal, and we've offered any help that they need. We have a very good relationship with Nepal, and that was brutal. That wasn't just, that was mud and water. It was a mixture. Nobody's ever seen anything quite like that. We're very powerful, strong, well-built buildings were wiped out like they were toothpicks. That's a terrible thing. No, we are sending aid, and we've spoken to the leadership, and we let them know anything they want we'll have. And there were 50, maybe 60 Americans over there. We haven't gotten the full list yet, but hopefully they're okay. But that looks like something that people will not be, somebody will be lost, unfortunately.
Okay. AG Todd Blanche holds a news conference in Puerto Rico. Oh, interesting. Announcing a drug trafficking crackdown. Okay.
In addition to what happened yesterday here in Puerto Rico and what happened yesterday in Ecuador, there's more. Thanks to the efforts by the Homeland Security Task Force, Dominican Republic cocaine kingpin and leader of a Dominican-based international drug operation, Eric Rendil Mascao Polanco, was extradited yesterday from Colombia to San Juan, Puerto Rico, to face charges in 2 separate indictments here, as well as money laundering charges filed in the District of New Jersey. During this HSTF investigation, law enforcement seized millions of dollars worth of cocaine and narcotics proceeds from the drug trafficking organization that he ran, and numerous other members of the drug trafficking organization have already been arrested, charged, and many of them convicted. This week's operations in Puerto Rico and Ecuador exemplify the success of this innovative strategy across the globe. And we will not let up until the job is done. This Homeland Security Task Force model is an all-of-government approach. It uses state and local law enforcement, police officers, state troopers, HSI, DEA, FBI, ATF, the marshals, state and local prosecutors at the Department of War when necessary. And it's a whole government approach, and when we do this, when we all stand together, we can deliver the promise of safer and healthier communities. I want to end by again thanking the fantastic work of our law enforcement partners, the federal agencies involved in yesterday's successful takedown, the prosecutors that have worked tirelessly on this case, the paralegals and support staff in this office that worked tirelessly on this case, and to our great acting U.S. Attorney, Hector Ramirez, who I'll ask to say a few words now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Trump stuns experts by confirming a whopping $10 billion investment into America from Micron. Really? They're building a RAM factory here? Please? Yes, please? Please build a RAM factory in America. Or just anywhere. I have to assume that's what they're building. Current market, it's big money. And it's not going to stop. Trump announces he's surging to Texas to push hard to elect Ken Paxton over Wacko Talarico.
So I'll be going to Texas, and we're working very hard. We want to win that race. He's running against a man who should never be. We have a very good candidate, Ken Paxton, and he's running against Telefrico, they call him, because he is a little freaky, and that's not a man that represents the value of Texas. So Telefrico? I'm going to help Ken Paxton, and I'm going to spend a lot of time in Texas. I have the all-time highest vote in the history of Texas also, and I'm going to spend some time there. We'll be going tonight. Some of you are going with me. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, Trump has just boarded Air Force One en route to Houston. Gonna raise funds and support for Mr. Paxton. Pardon me. Syrian President al-Shara makes Syria's first Visa card payment in 15 frickin' years. Wow. After the U.S. removes the country from its state sponsors a terrorism list. Welcome back to the normal world, I guess. Beep. Nice. Okay, Mr. Mark Wayne Mullen, DHS announces it will be requiring mandatory, random audits of paper ballots during the 2026 midterm elections because of major vulnerabilities to tampering and foreign or Chinese involvement in the machines. I'm sure they'll be very random and not at all carefully chosen.
With Secretary Lutnick, we are going to make our security enhancements mandatory, meaning that if these states want a grant and they want to be reimbursed to work or to run federal elections, they're going to have to implement security issues. Just security issues. We're not trying to get into anything else, but we're saying that the machines have to be secured and that your voter registration list needs to be scrubbed. We need to make sure that individuals that are legally able to vote are voting. We know that Iran hacked our state voter files and attempted to compromise, is the best word I can use, our systems where military members used to vote. So we're working with Secretary Hegseth and the DOW to safeguard those systems and protect our military voters.
Jury now deliberating in the Lindsay Clancy case. Oh boy. Do we know like anything about the makeup of the jury at all?
Members of the jury, you may now retire to consider your verdict. Thank you.
Court, all rise. Jury, driving over.
Where's the psycho? Oh, here she is.
Hi. Oh. think You've tried a difficult murder. I just wanted to make one comment, it really is, unless you've tried a difficult murder like this one, you may not be aware how difficult and tough it is to try a case like this. It's emotionally taxing, it's intellectually challenging, it's physically exhausting. So I just wanted to commend all three counsel for their work and their efforts in this case, in this trial. I know how challenging it's been for them, so I just kind of wanted to acknowledge that and thank them for their efforts in regards in this case. So then before we break, could I see counsel just in regards to a couple of the exhibits?
Interesting. Interesting. Cool. Got a couple of fresh ones tagged here. Come back to them in a bit. California mother has been arrested. Oh, they arrested her for this? Disgusting. So this lady, this mom smashed a school bus window to get her child out of the bus because the bus driver was holding all of the children on the bus for like more than an hour. Kids were terrified. Parents were understandably freaking out. All because some kid got rowdy on the bus and like stuck his head out the window at some point briefly, I guess, was what I heard about it. Just crazy. So, of course, the mom just eventually has enough and says, all right, fuck that. If you're not going to let him out, I'm going to get him out.
Oh, I thought she was about to start swinging.
Ah. So they arrested her, huh? For vandalism. Sickos. How about arrest the driver for kidnapping? Minneapolis police reportedly raided the apartment of Ilhan Omar's son on Tuesday night, seizing firearms and ammunition and arresting his roommate, 22-year-old roommate, Abdul Rahman Abdi. According to Alpha News, Abdi was initially stopped for driving without a license and proof of insurance. Police later found a firearm in his vehicle, tracked him to the apartment, and arrested him on a weapons charge. Oh, great. Another historic church just burned down. Grand Rapids, Michigan. 133 years old. Cause of the fire, of course, is unknown.
The fire started around 11 last night on Oak Street and Sheldon Boulevard. They say there are multiple add-ons for the church, so putting out the blaze was quite tricky. Now, church leaders confirmed on social media that there was no risk to the main building. Firefighters are still out there working to clean up all the mess as fire investigators will now look into what sparked that fire. The fire started...
Could it have been arson, maybe? Yeah. Oh, so this is the one that brought the guillotine, huh? This is the one that brought the guillotine to DC.
Outside the FBI building, eating some cheese pizza.
Interesting tattoo on your neck there, my friend.
If the view of my guillotine offends you, you might be doing some really fucked up shit.
What's that on your shirt, my friend? Can I see that? Let's see. Until Saint Vitus. Saint Vitus. Let's see that tattoo. That is a odd-looking tattoo. Appears to be an M with a little I in the middle.
Cheese pizza.
Enjoys cheese pizza.
If the view of my guillotine offends you, you might be doing some really fucked up shit.
The most basic of all human agreements cannot be honored. The word of law means nothing. Fuck these fools. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Drove all the way from California. And what does that freaking shirt say, dude? What is that one? Something burial. You different shirts. I don't know. Similar but different. Not sure. Creepy guy. Ilan Tamduila, age 35. Had driven across the country to D.C., visited the FBI headquarters in the Capitol building before parking illegally outside. Ah, it says Queen Burial. That's the name on the shirt. Plays bass in a doom metal band called Queen Burial, and had been posting about leftist politics on social media.
Outside the FBI.
What's the deal with the cheese pizza, man? I mean, really. Seriously. Hiker who was in distress, and oh, I saw this one. This is crazy, man. So these guys, I think there's a whole group of them, not just this one, but they hiked up into the mountains, I assume under state employ, to go fix, or maybe power company or something, but went to go fix something often very remote area in Arizona, and didn't bring enough water.
Hey, sir.
Hello. Brilliant.
I'm here to help you, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, just real. You ran out of water?
Yeah.
What's your name? How old are you?
63.
If I can give you some water, can you drink it?
Absolutely.
All right, here. Just sit up for me.
I just need help 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. Just sit up for me. Start drinking this real slow, right? If you start feeling nauseous, then stop drinking it. Just drink it slow, brother.
I'm sorry. I tried to give him profiles so you could see me, but
I'm gonna get you wet, all right? Just to cool you off a little bit, all right? It's gonna be cold, huh? It's good. It's good. No, it's good for you. It's good for you. Gonna be your temperature down, you know? It's gonna help you out.
Yeah.
I know it feels cold.
No,
You're good. You're good, brother. Just take deep breaths, all right? Take deep breaths. What time did you start your hike?
I think it was maybe 11 p.m. last night.
Really? Wow, you guys been...
We hiked all the way up in the morning. We worked on all the ACs and got the towers fixed. Nobody had sufficient water to come down. So I drank what I needed then. It saved a little bit.
Okay.
It started getting warm, so I finished.
Put your arm in like a jacket right here. You're gonna be all right, sir.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
Happy to help.
I didn't want to call, but
no, if you need it.
My team said we're calling. They didn't give me a choice. I tried pushing, so
we'd rather come pick you up.
I couldn't have done it. I didn't realize it. You know, I've never ever called for emergency.
That's what you're here for, sir. You need it.
It'd be pretty humiliating. It's
I did 57 miles in Stalconte in January. I was in better shape, and this summer's been kicking my ass.
All right, sir. I'm gonna help you because we gotta walk down because we're too close.
Glad he's okay. Bring enough water next time, buddy. If there is a next time. California desperately wants change and transparency when it comes to the tax dollars being defrauded. Oh, Shirley's out there. Let's see it. Why not?
Welcome to the Califradia Republic.
Califradia.
I'm in full support
of Stop Nick Shirley.
I would take a bullet for Nick Shirley because he's exposing a lot of fraud.
Nobody would be voting for this if they weren't getting some kind of kickback from all this fraud.
We have made it here to Sacramento to talk and rally about the Stop Nick Shirley Act, AB 2624. It's a bill that was created to protect fraudsters from being exposed, essentially. This bill is a complete violation of the First Amendment. If you read the fine text, it even says inside of the bill, if an immigration support service provider were to give me a demand letter, I would not be able to post the video. It's a complete violation of the First Amendment. And fun fact, this bill was created by the Attorney General's wife, Mia Bonta. She's an assemblywoman who created this bill only after I'd exposed widespread fraud in locations like Minnesota, and then I announced I was coming here to California on January 31st after I had filmed the videos, and then they created this bill to stop the fraud from being exposed. Here in California, they've learned that by using immigrant support service providers, they can funnel millions upon millions of dollars to nonprofits, NGOs, provide health care for illegal migrants and immigrants just in general, and then they will then funnel that money back into their agendas, and it's one big churn wheel that continues to enable the fraud and to continue to push these crazy agendas here inside the state of California. So for the first time in a long time, we're pushing back. We're having this rally here today to say we do not support this bill. We don't want this bill taking place. Antifa has already arrived to the Capitol.
What is the issue with Nick Shirley? I'm trying to understand.
White supremacists.
This is the first time in a long time that a lot of people in California have come together and said, hey, this is enough. Enough is enough. Another fun fact, Gavin Newsom in the Senate and the Assembly, they fast-tracked this bill to get signed like almost immediately after they heard we were having this rally. The Senate voted on it. The next day, the Assembly voted on it. And then Newsom did something he never does. He worked on a Saturday and signed this bill into law. And it takes effect October 1st of 2027, which is also weird. If they believed in this law, why don't they put it in immediately? But they put it out so that way people like us would forget. However, we're not forgetting. That's why we're here today. I'm going to be speaking at the rally. Therefore, we're going to bring on some new people you may have seen here on the channel before who are going to be doing some interviews outside of the rally so you guys can see what it's like and why people are showing up to this rally in support of stopping AB 2624. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. We're heading to the Capitol right now. If you want to support my work, one way to do it is we have these Califradia Republic hoodies and t-shirts available on my website at antifraudclub.com. Get one of those to help support the work we do, and it helps us stay independent and keep us funded. This is not cheap to do. So go in the link down below or in the pinned comment, and now we're going to show you guys what it's like here at Sacramento. We're taking it over.
We arrived to the Sacramento Capitol not knowing what to expect, and the moment I jumped out of the car to head towards the rally, instantly my fans and supporters started coming up to me. And meanwhile, as my fans and supporters started coming up to me, Darren, Egan, and Booker T. Jones were outside monitoring what was going on with the crowd, and specifically with Antifa, as Antifa started to get a little wild.
Today, we are here for freedom of speech. We believe in freedom of speech, the right to the press. The Stop Nick Shirley Act is an attack on freedom of speech. Hello, may I ask why you're here today? How are you today? We're doing an interview for the news. Would you like to do an interview today? No. It's important that people are allowed to say whatever they want. There's some freedom of speech. What do you think about the Stop Nick Shirley Act?
It's illegal. Period.
Why is it so important that we defend our freedom of speech?
Well, because it was one of the founding principles of our country, and the people who are trying to take it away are the people creating the corruption, the fraud, the crime, and everything else. That's why they don't want us to be able to investigate. That's the sole reason, because they're covering their own you-know-what.
Why would they want to silence the people going after the corruption and fraud? Is it possible they themselves might be complicit in the scam?
That's exactly right. They are terrified that the corruption that they have benefited from by destroying the state of California through drugs and crime, legalizing crime, decriminalizing opioids, you know, this is what they've done, and they have benefited from it in ways that are going to come out. Truth will triumph for sure.
As I prepared to go meet the crowd and give my speech, Antifa only got crazier.
Why are you waving a communist flag?
Right now what he's doing is spreading a completely false narrative. This bill that he's talking about that's saying that's going to protect immigrants, it's not. It's protecting the addresses of journalists.
What?
That's funny as hell. How long
Sir, why are they arresting you? Why are they arresting you?
Oh, he's so tough. So tough. How much do you make an hour for this? So tough. They're so tough. Look at them. The walk of shame.
Excuse me, what do you think about what's going on at the Capitol?
I think a lot of things. I'm in full support of Stop Nick Shirley. He does nothing but spew hate and vitriol, and he deserves to be stopped. And we are here defending our country against fascism, and we won't stop. We will not stop. We love our country, and we want our country to be free and safe for all.
And then what do you think about like the people that are in support of Nick Shirley?
I don't understand it. I think that our country is so lost. I truly hate to see the opposition, and I think that people like Nick Shirley create this mob.
While these Antifa agitators were causing chaos away from the main stage, this is what the protest was actually about.
What made you want to come out here today?
Because we think the whole Nick Shirley act, nobody would be voting for this if they weren't getting some kind of kickback from all this fraud. So to expose fraud to be illegal, the only reason you would try to make that illegal is if you're getting something out of this, because they're allowing it to happen. So I don't know, it just seems like it's kind of wrong to be exposing fraud illegal. For me, if they can afford to give that much money away, why should we be paying taxes at all? We shouldn't pay taxes until they can fix the fraud, and yet instead of fixing the fraud, they're making it illegal to expose the fraud.
But I came out because of the fraud being exposed. It's like the during the pandemic when they started to bribe you to get the to then they started to force you to get the it's the same thing here. They're covering up where our money's going, and they don't want to expose it or uncover it. There's a problem.
These people here in this Capitol are violating freedom of speech. You know what I mean? That's what it is. First Amendment is freedom, and it's the Constitution. They're violating the Constitution.
Yeah. What would your grandma and grandpa say if
they're probably turning over in their grave right now?
And it's crazy to think that these people out here are supporting the silencing of Nick Shirley, and they're protesting against freedom of speech.
You know what?
They're so indoctrinated.
I would take a bullet for Nick Shirley because he's exposing a lot of fraud, and it starts from the top. They're criminals. That's what they want. They feed on the fraud. They get themselves rich. And that's pretty much it. And Nick Shirley, he's going to go down as in the books as history of exposing the most fraud than any individual.
Thank you so much.
Fidel Castro 2.0.
It was now my time to give my speech and tell people why this bill is so against the First Amendment. But before that, I welcomed as many people as I could. I signed as many things possible. I even signed a baby, and some people even offered to pray for me. And now it was time for me to give my speech, and after I gave my speech, I was then confronted by the New York Times, and now this is the moment you've all been waiting for. And make sure you watch to the very end to see what happens with the New York Times.
Nick Shirley.
Thank you. Welcome to the Califradia Republic. Here in California, the politicians, instead of going after the fraudsters, they've now gone after those that are going to expose the fraud. There's actually no need for this bill. AB 2624, also known as the Stop Nick Shirley Act, was only created after I'd exposed widespread fraud here inside of America. They've essentially created a protected class by calling this group the Immigration Support Service Providers, saying that I and you cannot expose them. Politicians have learned that they can use immigrant communities and use nonprofits and NGOs and funnel millions upon millions of your tax dollars into these nonprofits, NGOs, and for so long nobody ever looked into it. Then I did, and look what they're doing now. These are the same NGOs and nonprofits that help facilitate the trafficking of over 300,000 children here inside the United States. Now they want to prohibit people from being able to go and film these locations to expose it.
Save the kids!
Save the kids.
This new law, we got to think about who it was created by. It was created by Mia Bonta. Mia Bonta is the wife of the Attorney General Rob Bonta.
It's terrible. It's poetic.
While the Attorney General is supposed to go and prosecute the fraudsters, his wife is actively creating bills to stop the fraudsters from being exposed. The co-sponsor of this bill was Churla. Churla has received over $80 million of your tax dollars to help facilitate the illegal immigration here inside of California. None of our money should be going towards illegal migrants, nor should be going towards these nonprofits that are funded by your tax dollars. Then this bill was fast-tracked. They heard we were having this rally. So last week they brought it forth towards the Senate. Not a single Democrat voted against it. All the Republicans did. And then they fast-tracked it to the Assembly. Same thing happened. And then we did something that's never happened. We made Gavin Newsom work on a Saturday. And he signed the bill into law. Unfortunately for him, he just started this battle that we're bringing upon him. That's why all of you showed up here today, because this is not the end, this is just the beginning. Thank you all so much for coming out, and thank you so much for caring.
So I was just, the people who are supporting this bill, like they say that has nothing to do with you, that they introduced it long before you had come to California, that it's really not about your work here.
That's true.
Why do you say it's not true?
Because I announced on January 31st I was coming to California. I had already filmed the videos. The word had already gotten out that I filmed inside these immigration support service providers. And then they created the bill before I published the video.
Well, they say that it has to do with work, like experiences that immigrants...
Yeah, they say. They lie, ma'am. That's what they do.
Immigration service providers...
Of course, you would know that because you're one of them.
...have been having for quite a long time, including last year, like that they were not aware of your work when they felt that there was a need for this bill.
It's a lie, quite frankly. And there's already laws out for people that are being doxxed and for people that are being threatened. There's no need for this bill. They're making a protected class by specifically saying immigration support service providers, and then they say included but not limited to, and they list a whole bunch. But what does that exactly mean? It's so broad that quite literally anything underneath them could be an immigration support service provider. There's 10 million immigrants here inside the state of California.
That we know of, officially speaking.
So my understanding is that the bill actually adds immigration services to existing categories of people who already had this same safe-at-home protection.
Yeah, so they're putting them inside of this new program, yet they don't actually, they're making a new protected class for people that work inside immigration support service programs. There's already laws for people that are being doxxed and threatened. That safe-at-home program is for people who are trying to escape their predators that are attacking them.
And so what is it that you feel that you've done that would be prohibited by this law?
Have you read the bill?
Yeah, it does say that it only applies, someone has to apply for this protection. It's not like they automatically get it. They have to show that they're being threatened, that they have a law enforcement approval. And then,
So imagine a fraudster who knows he's committing fraud. He's like, oh, well, now underneath this bill, if I'm committing fraud, I'm just going to go enroll into this program, and therefore when someone comes up to expose my fraud, I can just give them a written paper, a written demand, and they can't publish the video according to the law.
And you think they could easily just fake that they're being facing a threat?
Yes, just like they fake fucking everything else, my dear. Hello?
The harassment.
How do you think they got here? How do you think they've gotten all their services? How do you think they vote? How do you think they do all the shit they do?
It says harassment.
Or, don't do.
On that bill, it says unwelcome visitation, unwelcome visits. They just lie, man. Unreasonable fear.
That's what they do.
If I go expose a fraudster, are they going to be fearful? Well, of course.
Okay. And then what about the part of the bill that says, like, it's only unlawful to post the information if you're doing
Nick's learning, man. He's getting better. He's studying up beforehand. This is good. Good for him.
To incite violence or make a threat. Like, if you're just posting it for information to inform the public, that wouldn't be a violation, would it?
Who's to say that? Who's to say that if I expose it and then I expose it to somebody else, and then a third party comes in and incites violence or harassment? What does that mean? That means that they could literally hire somebody to go commit the crime and say that third party was because of Nick Shirley. Then Nick Shirley is responsible of that crime, and then we're going to give Nick Shirley a $4,000 fine. So you as a journalist, if you go expose a Leering Center, do you know what a Leering Center is?
I watched your videos about.
She knows what the Leering Center is.
Okay, yeah. So if you go expose a Leering Center where there's no kids in the daycare, they receive $1.9 million, and it just opens up a whole entire fraud ring, and then I expose it. A bunch of other people come in and say someone throws, I don't know, say somebody paintballs the building, right? They cause fear for that building, and then you're responsible for the actions of a third party. But that fraud was real. So like, how it completely breaks the trust and the amendment of the freedom of press.
You can see her brain like there's a hint of possible action, possible activity taking place up here.
Putting other crimes upon another person.
Maybe the beginnings of it.
For reporting the truth. People said the Minnesota fraud wasn't true for a long time. And now we're seeing that people are being arrested nearly each and every single week, and people are pleading guilty to that fraud. But the Democrats and the mainstream media said that fraud wasn't real. So we just had...
Yeah, they did do that, man.
New York Times come up, interview me. They literally couldn't finish the interview.
That was insane.
Because I told her why this bill is a violation of the First Amendment, and she was literally left speechless. Tells you all you need to know.
What was it? What made her do that? What
building? Right? They cause fear for that building, and then you're of press by putting other crimes upon another person for reporting the truth. People said the Minnesota fraud wasn't true for a long time, and now we're seeing that people are being arrested nearly each and every single week, and people are pleading guilty to that fraud.
Hundreds of millions of dollars, man.
But the Democrats and the mainstream media said that fraud wasn't real.
I bet she was one of them. I bet she was. I bet she did do that.
So we just had New York.
It was fantastic. He's getting much better. He was prepared, knew the bill, knew all the ins and outs. Way better than that clusterfuck that Data Republican put on last week. What a fucking train wreck that was. I guess I haven't really commented on that yet, but yeah, that was a clusterfuck. She fucked that up big time, in my opinion. Bad. So stupid. So disappointed in that. I appreciate her work, or her efforts anyway. But man, that shit was so fucking inexcusable. It was insane. It was insane what she did to that woman. So if you missed it, she basically like went out on the internet and said something to the effect of like, this Trump appointee, Sarah Rogers, she didn't say that part, but she said this State Department employee is trying to like set me up, like entrap me or some fucking nonsense. And it was basically, when you get right down to it, it was based on nothing. It was based on literally Data Republican one-shotting herself by talking to Grok and convincing herself that it was a conspiracy against her. Which, if you ask leading questions to Grok, it's going to tell you what you want to hear. That's how these things work. Like, it blew my... Like, she should know better. She's supposed to be like a big-ass, like, whoop-de-doo data analyst, and she doesn't know that? It was mind-boggling to me. So she goes through this whole freaking thing, like this whole tirade about how the State Department's trying to set her up, like trying to feed her some document and get her to leak it, and somehow this would have been a crime, and they would like lock her up, and I don't even know what. Meanwhile, the document in question, no, not a crime. It was unclassified. Like, the only marking on it was like, what was it? Not for public release, which doesn't apply to you, unless there's something we didn't know about, which it sounds like there was. She's being employed by Department of War, which may have been on the up and up generally. Like, I'm not saying there was anything bad going on there. I don't think she was like, I know there's a lot of people out there saying like they're like latching onto this and trying to like paint it as some big ass like a whole, they're flipping it around trying to make it their own kind of conspiracy, and saying Department of War is like setting up people like that, a Republican, to shill garbage narratives and so on and so forth, and blah blah blah, trying to lead people astray, and who knows what. I don't buy that. I think she was just sloppy and stupid. It was amateur hour. It was fucking amateur hour. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for just independent citizen journalism as a whole. It was ridiculous. Like, she threw this woman under the bus. She's a good woman, by the way. Someone who I've met. She defended Doug Mackey from the onslaught that he faced as Ricky Vaughn back when he posted a meme and got in shit for it. Remember all that whole thing from back in 2016? Yeah, that was her. She threw herself into defending him and succeeded. And then she was appointed to the Trump admin by Trump, to the State Department. I don't know what data Republican expected people to believe, but it was effectively trying to convince people that Ms. Sarah Rogers at State Department was like a deep stater trying to set her up for a non-existent crime that just, it wasn't a crime. It was, objectively not a crime. Even if she was a Department of War employee, by the way, because Sarah Rogers, in her capacity at State, would have absolutely had the authority to send that out and say, okay, you can release this. You should have to pretend that this is never done, which is absurd because it's how all journalism is done. This is how the whole fucking thing works. You develop a source and they give you stuff. The whole thing just fucking blew my mind. It was embarrassing. So it's good. Point being, it's great actually to see Nick Shirley not doing that, doing complete opposite of that, and doing great. I hope she learned her lesson, because that shit cannot happen again. It was fucking embarrassing. I was embarrassed for all of us. And I have to say, if I was the Trump admin, I would think twice now about giving info to any influencer of any kind at this point. After that clusterfuck, it was ridiculous. So I don't know. She never apologized. She made a big ass non-apology and brushed the whole thing off. And Sarah Rogers predictably was very gracious and accepted the non-apology basically and said, don't worry about it. It's okay. We all have our moment. I don't know exactly what she said, but she was very gracious about it. Just ridiculous, man. The lesson of this story is don't one-shot yourself with Grok. Don't run to Grok and ask it leading questions and then take it as the truth, because it's not. You cannot rely on that shit. I'm not going to spend any more time on it because it was just, the whole thing was absurd. And I hope it taught not just her a lesson, but a lot of people, everyone that works in this field, because it was just sad. I know, she's being so cute, little baby. Okay, Greg Bovino. Oh, he's on Tucker, huh? All right.
This is, in my opinion, of course, the greatest issue and greatest threat that our nation has faced since its founding. Of course. And I'm including the Civil War in that. I think the Civil War is child's play compared to what we're facing now, because this ends it all. 105 million illegal aliens get amnesty and start voting, which it appears that, the Tom Tillises, the McCalls, and the rest of that gang want that. When they start voting, everything's gone. If you think your Second Amendment's good, it's gone. That Second Amendment's gone. Everything's gone. Everything that you hold dear, your culture, your values, traditions, everything. They don't care. This is, in my opinion, of course,
probably right. Over 105, yeah. Yep. Okay. Oh, they're losing their minds over Lake America, predictably.
No one wants. And we're seeing this, and the president does not care. He does not seem to care about the fact that everyday people are suffering. Yeah. And yet we are all expected to just grin and be like, yeah, of course he's renaming Lake Ontario to be Lake America. Right. That's just what he wants to do. He only cares about branding. Yeah. He only cares about himself. No one wants.
Wow. This is embarrassing. What idiots. CNN forced to apologize to Dolly Parton's family after showing a photo of a Dolly Parton impersonator.
Get books
and claiming it was Dolly Parton.
How his own son benefited from.
Yeah, that is clearly not Dolly Parton.
That. Here's some of what we heard from some of the other people out here.
That's Dolly Parton. I don't know how you missed that. Okay, Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski facing mounting criticism from rural villagers who accuse her of using them as political pawns. Yeah, of course she does.
They want to keep you in a chokehold, hey, you stay there. Instead of providing something, you have to work extra hard to get something. That's how the government works.
Everybody here that's voting has registration cards to vote.
Oh. So even if the Save America Act passed, it wouldn't really impact Savunga.
I don't think it'd really impact anybody.
It's hard. We don't have any DMVs or anything like that.
If they had, like a traveling DMV.
That's a great idea. He goes, just bring the DMV here so you guys don't have to fly to Anchorage and spend $800.
14A, when are we going to get one out here?
So you think Lisa Murkowski should bring the DMV here? Or?
Yes.
This is a St. Lawrence Island. It's a little bit closer to Russia than it is to mainland Alaska, but there's great Alaskans that live out there.
In the middle of nowhere, Alaska, where we're about to look into claims made by the state's longtime U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski, who says some of her indigenous constituents may be discouraged to vote if the Save America Act passes. Oh, boy.
This is Alaska, the last frontier known for its rugged wilderness, extreme cold, and rich indigenous cultures, like the people who live on Savunga. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski recently put this tiny remote island on the national stage, using them as the reason why she's refusing to support the Save America Act.
I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
One of President Trump's signature bills that's supposed to strengthen election integrity by requiring voter ID and proof of citizenship. But Murkowski says it will discourage most of her constituents on Savunga from voting, claiming very few would take costly flights to bigger cities like Anchorage to get proper voting documents to meet new requirements.
No.
The only thing federal about these remote Alaskan islands is usually the post office.
Showtime.
So we made the long trek to Savunga on primary election day to get a better sense of what the voters really think of the Save America Act and if anyone has better ideas to strengthen the nation's voting system.
Interesting.
All right, so basically there's no turning back right now. That's the plane behind us on the runway. It's about to take off, so we're here at least for the time being to figure out what's going on.
So on primary election day, we went straight to tribal leadership for perspective on Murkowski's claims.
Are you the president?
I'm guessing they're completely full of shit, and there's nothing to anything she said.
Ben Pungawee serves as one of the village officials and says he has no idea why she keeps pushing this one-sided narrative, but agrees with Murkowski. Flying would be a financial burden for most in this community. However, he says there are clearly easier alternatives she's not mentioning.
Do you think Senator Murkowski's doing a good job representing Savunga?
Well, 2018, I haven't heard word of housing. I don't know what she's going through right now.
This is not only a logistical challenge, but it presents a fiscal challenge.
However, he says there are clearly easier alternatives she's not mentioning.
You know, I get my driver's license through the mail.
Yeah, so you're saying that people...
No problem.
Maybe the folks could simply send them to you guys.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Simple. So instead of your people in Savunga having to fly to Anchorage or Nome, she should send ID cards to you guys.
Yep.
Why didn't she suggest that?
I have no clue. They want to keep you in a chokehold, you know. Hey, you stay there, you know. Instead of providing something, you have to work extra hard to get something. That's how the government works.
Then we visited Savunga's voting center, where some locals thought we were trying to falsely obtain tribal identification cards, so they called the cops on us.
So you thought we were trying to get tribal IDs?
It's just what somebody probably misunderstood.
Exactly. So I just wanted to ask.
That's why I was coming over here to make contact.
Sorry, we're journalists. We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
After clearing up the confusion, even Police Chief Michael Wongatillan agreed.
They can't afford it because airline tickets here are way more expensive than flying to Nome to Anchorage and return. If they had, like, say, like a traveling DMV.
That's a great idea. Like, that's a great solution. But she didn't bring up that solution.
Maybe they didn't think about it.
Murkowski is not considering all the options to meet new requirements of the Save America Act.
So do you feel like Lisa Murkowski should maybe bring a traveling DMV?
Traveling DMV is brilliant.
Well, what about Dan Sullivan, the junior senator? Wouldn't he be able to get something like that going?
Okay, that makes sense.
He thinks state officials should bring in a pop-up Department of Motor Vehicles office where his people can register to vote and get the proper IDs.
The chief came up with a great idea. He goes, just bring the DMV here so you guys don't have to fly to Anchorage and spend $800.
Fucking A, when are we going to get one out here?
So you think Lisa Murkowski should bring the DMV here?
Yes.
We reached out to Senator Murkowski's office and asked if the sentiment on the ground would compel her to change her position on the Save America Act. Her spokesperson refused to allow the senator to speak with us on camera, but sent us a statement that reads in part, flying in election officials or DMV employees or even mailing new voting documentation to rural communities are terrific suggestions. Suggestions that Senator Murkowski herself has offered through amendments and discussions with colleagues, only to have them dismissed by proponents of the Save America Act. But nowhere in the current legislation does it say these workarounds for rural voters would be blocked. We also asked for names of lawmakers who allegedly dismissed Murkowski's ideas, but her spokesperson says they did not want to get into internal conference negotiations. Residents say it's been years since Alaska's senator visited this village of less than 900 people.
Here's what I find interesting. Every house has Starlink. Thank you, Elon Musk. Hello?
Hello? The reality is, most of the people we spoke to here in Savunga say they're not really concerned about national politics or any potential voter fraud. They want Senator Murkowski to focus more on local issues, like bringing support into this community. They hope Murkowski decides to eventually show up in person to deal with local issues, like access to more affordable groceries, direct flights to bigger cities, and a way out of the poverty that's evident in this tribal community. Look at all the crumbling infrastructure she's failed to address. There's no internet service, so residents have to rely on Starlink satellite to go online. Some houses are overflowing with garbage because the village lacks basic trash removal services. More importantly, they just want someone to listen to their ideas before misrepresenting them or speaking on their behalf.
Well, I'll pass it along to Lisa Murkowski, okay? Thanks again, Ben. I appreciate you.
Well, we finally made it back on the plane. We're headed back to Nome after an adventurous day here.
Yes. Canada declining to finalize a deal that would have accelerated the reindustrialization in North America. What is this in reference to? Let's see.
Pour nous, en politique économique.
They're talking in Canadian. I guess.
Qui vise la réindustrialisation.
Yeah. Must see 9/11 hijacker video. Let's see.
Are any hijackers in this video?
There are 2 hijackers appear in this video. One hijacker can be seen in the kitchen. Bayumi instructs the videographer not to film one side of the room. This caught Evanina's attention.
You see, don't film here, and he's motioning.
To the left side of the room.
So as an investigator, what does that tell you?
He wants these people seen in the video for sure, and absolutely nobody on that side of the video.
Later, the videographer slips up and captures the other side of the room.
So they're having the meal, and then the videographer pulls up at one point and gets the other side of the room by accident. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Right? This man is identified in court records as a Saudi government religious official. Mohammed Al-Qahtani.
What's the significance?
Very significant. It's another direct tie to an actual employee of the Saudi government in the welcoming party for 2 soon-to-be hijackers. That's a big deal.
That's information that would have been relevant to the 9/11 Commission.
These videos were obtained in the fall of 2001. Those videos should have been provided to the 9/11 Commission.
Wow. Oh, Besson drops this line on Iran. Okay, let's see.
At President Trump's direction, the United States Treasury has begun Operation Economic Outcast, an unprecedented campaign against the Islamic Republic of...
I think this is like days old at this point. This guy just slot posts all day sometimes. Okay, Meta, owner of Facebook and Instagram, settled a landmark social media addiction lawsuit, paying $17.1 billion. Whew. Secretary General of the UN International Telecommunications Union, Doreen Bogdan Martin, is on this year's Time 100 AI list of leaders shaping AI.
The ability to verify information is going to be fundamental in the future for all jobs.
Okay, UN lady.
So I think widespread adoption of artificial intelligence will impact the labor market. I think new jobs will be created. Some jobs will be replaced and others will be augmented. That's why it's so important to invest in skilling. So I often get this question, and I have been on panels where this question is asked, is what should young people, and I have 4 young adults, so I often ask them. And some say, philosophy, that everyone should be
That's probably true.
studying
Actually.
philosophy. I would say as a whole, we can't lose that critical thinking. And so that's got to be fundamental.
I'm shocked to be agreeing with her on this, but I am.
We can't lose our ability to communicate human to human. But I do think digital skilling and the ability to understand and use artificial intelligence and the ability to verify information
What, with artificial intelligence, I assume? Yeah.
is going to be fundamental in the future for all jobs. I think the fictional depictions demonstrate that it's here and it's coming fast. But I think what they get wrong is that humans are still in control. And I think that's where we have to do more to ensure that the systems that are under development or already deployed are done so responsibly and safely. I use a range of tools. I use chat, I use Copilot.
Ew. Opinion discarded. Bye.
I use Claude. I use Copilot more.
You said that already.
In the office with my office tools. I have, I think, 5 different agents. I have worked with my team to set them up in a way that keeps me from asking them the same questions all the time when I'm traveling and want country information or to get an update on previous meetings. And I use chat for general questions, and then I like to challenge chat by using Claude as well. I think it
actually is pretty effective.
At this point, I would not be using.
But ideally, you should be challenging it yourself also.
AI to give me emotional support because it's not human.
Weird. Okay. Canada backtracks on seafood counter tariffs. Ooh. So much for that one. That fast, huh? A whopping, 1 day later? Facts. Trump announces U.S. is dispatching aid to Nepal, but not China.
We've called Nepal and we've offered any help that they need. We have a very good relationship with Nepal, and that was that was mud and water as a mixture. Nobody's ever seen anything quite like that. We're very powerful, strong, well-built buildings were wiped out like they were toothpicks. That's a
Yep, I think we watched this one earlier, but it was nuts. Yep. Full moon and partial lunar eclipse coming soon. Where and when? Observers across North and South America will be able to view most or all of the partial lunar eclipse as it occurs during evening and overnight hours. That is when? Oh, tonight. Okay. 10:30 to midnight-ish. Uh-oh. Nepal's deadly flash floods create dangerous barrier lake, raising fears of another subsequent disaster. Oh shit. Jeez. Ugh. Oh man. There it is. Soon as the rains come. Uh-oh. That'll be filling up. And probably breaking at some point and flooding everything again. Jeez. Wow. Okay. Crazy body cam footage captured in Oklahoma as a man attempts to shoot a flamethrower at cops who were serving an eviction notice. A flamethrower.
Can you open? Can you open the door a little bit? Reach in, push the other one. Hey, County, open the door, not up.
The hell is in this place? Jeez.
How's the authority?
If he's lethal, go left.
No.
Oh, shit.
Whoa!
Back out!
Hey!
Back out! Back out! I know. He's fine.
Quit.
Back out.
Quit.
Guy's lucky he didn't get shot, man. Like, fast. Dang. USPS announces President Trump's mail-in ballot security rules will be in effect for the 2026 midterms. Postal Service will not deliver ballots to voters deemed ineligible after checks against DHS and other federal records. Ha, 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 ha. North Carolina will be sending mail-in ballots mere days from now, just after the Supreme Court upheld the ballot integrity order. This is huge because if states send out mail-in ballots before the EO gets struck down, which, you know, they'll do eventually, they can't go back on it. Yep. Trump admin nearing a deal with Venezuela that would double the U.S.'s oil reserves overnight. Oh, okay, not bad.
And we, just so you understand,
Deal would involve ownership stakes in Venezuela's massive oil reserves, 90 billion barrels of oil to be exact. Wow. Formerly influenced by China.
and we, just so you understand, the people of Venezuela, they say if I ran for president of Venezuela, I'm polling higher than anybody has ever polled in Venezuela. So after I'm finished with this, I can go to Venezuela. I will quickly learn Spanish. It won't take too long. I'm good at language. And I will go to Venezuela.
I'm good at language.
I'm going to run for president. But we're very happy with the president-elect that we have right now. The people that are running it. If you remember Bush with Iraq. And we, just so you
Oh, boy. Okay, Tropical Storm Dolly became the fourth named storm of the season in the Atlantic on Thursday. 40-mile-an-hour winds, not expected to strengthen over the next few days. Whoop-de-doo. Snore. How Britain's prisons became... Oh, not data centers, Dawa centers. Ooh. Some Muslim bullshit. I don't know what. Whatever. You. Mark Carney of Canada tells Trump that Lake Ontario's name is to remain now and always. I take great offense, sir.
This amazing.
Oh, yeah. Where do they have the statue now? Where are they putting it?
Washington was made specifically for the Freedom 250 Grand Prix IndyCar race, but now it has nowhere to go.
Yep, he's just chilling there, man. excellent statue. It's very, very good. Cool. Lawyer for Lisa Cook responds to Trump's renewed effort to oust the Federal Reserve governor. Abby Lowell. Dirtbag. Whatever it is, I'm sure it was whiny and pathetic. Oh, Hill Dog is chiming in. It's Lake Ontario. Yeah, what was the deal with this? Taxpayer-funded CBC in Canada has officially directed staff to not call 9/11 a terrorist attack. They want personnel to call it a hijacking. Do not refer to the September 11th attacks as terrorist attacks. Crashes is also an acceptable way to phrase it. The 9/11 crashes. Wow. Way to go, Canada. Ohio principal lost his job after refusing to abandon a homeless 16-year-old student who was sleeping in a car. Took them in. He and his wife had 6 kids, but took him in anyway. Jeez. Wow. That's crazy. Well, we're down to 10 minutes. I want to keep going, so we'll keep moving. Yeah, they did this. 3 fired Stars and Stripes journalists have filed a federal civil suit against Pete Hegseth and Hegseth spokesman Sean Parnell. Suit alleges defendants are attempting to fire plaintiffs for speaking up as private citizens in support of the press's freedom. Something tells me that's not what the issue was. Just a guess. Oh, wow. Air traffic controllers left work early before the LaGuardia crash. Nice. Oh, God. Oh, God. The Clancy people. Lindsay Clancy people. Lindsay Clancy now has the support of Spicy Moms, who flew in from California. The group, which appears to organize around mothers facing legal or mental health crises, showed up as her murder trial for killing her 3 kids continues. She admits the act, but is claiming postpartum psychosis. Yeah.
Appreciate your hard work. I'm an OG Spicy Mom.
Oh my God. That is about exactly what I thought
Co-founder
that this would be.
Of women who support women in maternal health. We came all the way from California to be here. We took a red-eye flight.
Look at them.
To be here to support the moms who
What is this?
supporting Lindsay. We provided water, snacks, and food.
You guys were awesome today.
We love you, and we appreciate this work.
Take me back to California.
Yes.
I drove 17 hours from Indiana.
So we appreciate this hard
This way,
work.
Kevin.
We've been advocating for moms for the last 10 years.
See you tomorrow.
Is it a good sign, sir?
He's like, get the fuck away from me. Don't rub that shit on me. I don't want your stink.
Appreciate your hard work.
Trump's State Department. We played that one. We'll skip. Oh wow, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime. He's dead. Oh, that sucks. Dead at age 85.
And though we are worlds apart, like us, there's more to them than meets the eye.
What a voice, man. Shoot. Rest in peace. President Trump just posted that Barack Hussein Obama's the Barack Hussein Obama Elementary School is stupid garbage in Virginia, Richmond, is apparently being shut down indefinitely because it is infested with black mold and rodents. Secretary Kennedy posting here, public service must serve the public, not the personal interests of government officials. Recently published records revealed that Dr. Fauci used his federal position to solicit nominations for private awards from individuals affiliated with institutions funded by his own agency, including an effort that resulted in a nearly $900,000 award. Our new legal guidance makes clear that HHS officials who solicit personal award nominations from entities funded, regulated, contracted, or otherwise engaged by programs they oversee warrants investigation under federal ethics standards. Yeah, you would think. He's cooked. He's cooked, chat. He's done. Okay. Oh, shit. Come back here. What was that about? Trump and Putin. I think it was on here. Trump commenting on Putin. What do you say? Ooh, an extended look at Grand Theft Auto 6. All right, let me see it.
I guess they know we're coming.
Yep.
What have you gotten yourselves into? I want to know everything.
What a thrust!
Oh, God.
What now?
She's an independent woman, y'all. She gonna jump off a building and shit. President Trump hints the U.S. could sanction Chinese banks over Iran links. It's coming. Mm-hmm. Just look at... I mean, has anyone paid attention to the chessboard lately? The world map? Syria, doink. Venezuela, doink. Imminently, Cuba, doink. One after the other. Iran, soon enough. Doink. Bye-bye. All China's bitches. All China's little bitches. One after the other. Blackout in parts of Cuba. Oh, speaking of. Oh. After the grid fails. Again. Scientists discovered DNA traces of two mysterious ghost human ancestors. I don't think they mean that literally. It's like ancestors in the genetic record that they have previously not identified. Like the, what do they call her? Mitochondrial Eve or whatever that we've all got. Or most of us anyway. Something like that. I forget what it is. Interesting. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, yeah, we saw, is a bitch. GTA 6 will feature various open world activities including mini golf, kayaking, scuba diving, working out at the gym, parachuting, visiting the zoo, and studying animals. 4 and 2-legged? Yep. Wow, you can go in a swamp boat? That little, those freaking things called. Fan boat? The fan boat? Is that what they call them? Man, I gotta say, I loved these games when I was young. Dumped way too much time into these. I don't remember the last one I played. It was probably GTA 4. I don't think I did 5. Skipped that one, but If they bring this to PC, I'll consider it. Like, maybe. 3 times the size of the Red Dead Redemption 2 map, twice the size of the GTA 5 map. Looks really big. Wow. Like, how far does this go? How far? Where's the boundary? Is there one? Pretty nuts, man. Yeah, if they bring it to PC, I'll check it out for sure. But I'm not buying a freaking Xbox just for this. No, thank you. It will come to PC eventually. It's just they're not going to do it right off the bat. I'm sure, you know, after they rake in all their money from people who were dumb enough to buy it twice, they'll do the Xbox and PS5 or whatever we're on now, and then a few months later they'll drop the PC. I can wait. I'm not like all those freaks out there waiting in line for a video game. Shame on you. Well, I guess you don't really have to do that anymore, right? You just download it. God, I'm old. President Trump unveils the USGS has officially renamed Lake Ontario as Lake America. Hochul says New York won't call Lake Ontario Lake America. Of course he won't. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that about does it. I think we're at the tippy top of the hour. Jump to Zoom here. Miss Vicky's in. Hello. Thank you for sitting in for Elsie. I appreciate it.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. Filling in for Mr. Mac.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem.
Well, all right. I suppose I'm gonna go relax and get some food, kick it, rest. You have a wonderful show.
Thank you, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
All right.
All right, friends. That's it for me. I'm done. I will be back bright and early tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to be on the road on Saturday. I got somewhere I got to go. I'm going to, well, up north somewhere. Not too far, but a few states away. For something, an event. So I will talk about that when I can later. Take photos if I can. We'll see. All right, guys. Well, I will catch you tomorrow morning.